What have you found? I've got nothing to say to you. I am not.
You could be, Liz. You could be anything.
Even a mod? Glenn.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International. The cold look in her eyes speaks louder than words. She is not amused.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again, just get the dead guys.
Good one, Titus.
About fucking
Can I help you?
The door, this door.
Fuck, does Kuno care? Kuno...
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells? Ugh, alright, sad piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw... If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. Have a good time! No. That's all the snitching Cindy the Skull does for today. I have a weakness for animals. It's the animal thing again. You're back.
All around you, rain keeps falling down. On the wooden boards she's standing on, and on the water around you.
Sadly, I need this one myself. It's hydrophobic. repels water. What I can do for you is answer some questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day. It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quick, yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach... Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver...
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand.
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about... Well, here's your chance. No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable. How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the... It's true, they drove a number of the local businesses to bankruptcy preparing for this venture. I've talked to a few business owners. It was quite the shakedown. But the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely. Then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you. The two might even be connected. Yes? Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorries. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I suspect the traffic jam. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the fourth day to the backstay on this. I hope...
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
This... reality. Ah, yes. The episode. Sounds like an acute case, but then I'm no doctor. Ask...
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
We're in Martinez, baby. Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial... You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the revolution. I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before. As a teenager. As I told you, Martinez used to be a province. A workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its part. Now the Reeds are the real star of the ship. It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. Yes, we're on an island in an ocean.
Known to the early Revacholians as vast, lukewarm and unknowable. Flowing...
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue...
It is clear this pebble is of and to humanity at large.
Revachol? The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory. Beyond patriot.
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed. In the DeLorean century, 380 years ago, they say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean. I think it's fair to say so. 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom.
Silence. The water, the light. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold.
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This is one thought you need to...
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown. These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of us for the big time. The revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real... Why, of course. We're talking Duke out Central. No, I would say the apes were neutral. On the other hand, those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution.
She's not gloating. It's a real...
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million... Yes, the Red Deluge. The Insulindian Deluge, they call it. Yes, an acute thiamine deficiency can be exacerbated by alcoholism. Exacerbated means, oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. Yes, King Guillaume had a nose for bad PR. He ran before it. What is the expression? Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything. Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war...
We. She's one of them. Of course.
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took... The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Siur...
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She's...
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are...
The rulers of Revachol.
This is their zone of control.
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work. The turn of the century revolution. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Gra. It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad, it made people overthrow their governments. Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution from Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown. Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of...
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat.
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum.
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune. Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile,
51 minus 8 equals 43.
time flies. The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, the 30s. Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven. Yes, and quantitative easing. It was a market mirage, unfortunately. Welcome to reality, baby.
From the looks of it, the 50s haven't been much better for the zone of control. You can see it in her eyes. Days slipping away.
I've no right to be dissatisfied. This shirt is Barbara Muscova, this raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed for 100 years. We could have had so much more. Every one of us. If only we played it right. Good question. What would you have done differently? And you would have died, most likely. Not far from here. Me.
The cold runs down your spine. She gestures toward the waters. The wind stops. There is
No. Almost certainly. The commune would have forced you. They are what they are. Who knows? Anyway, enough sentiment.
not so fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer.
It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin B in the brain. Symptoms include...
She conveys it in short, cold bursts, trying not in case he goes down later, souring the entire portfolio.
It's not just me, Detective. All of Martinez has placed its chips on your success. I pray we've all... Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol.
She nods, slow. What this boils down to is, this reality thing is stupid. Blow this joint, grab a bottle, and drain that shit right down your throat. She stares at you, head tilted to the side, with a slightly concerned look on her face. She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
I am the vilest of the vile. I am an old...
She raises the corner of her mouth, smirking, revealing a canine.
Haven't you heard? I am a nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. One of those. We surrendered the nation to financial colonists. No saint person identifies as an ultra anymore. Not...
In her green eyes you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt.
A fitting punishment. To be forgotten, if not forgiven. Say, when the dust settled, the Liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed. With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker.
While a gentle wind sweeps the streets in the rebuilt east, light drizzle.
I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not...
She realizes her small, cold fists are clenched.
Then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole...
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes. An oil fire on the ocean.
Perhaps. My intellect...
You're no dummy yourself.
A smart boy getting smarter. On basic term of Yes. I suppose I am. Yes. Whatever else I am. I'm also a mother. And a wife. Now, shall we return to reality? A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar... Ah! This is the pier or two. A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings. This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the stand. Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate.
Splat, splat.
Wonderful. The girl in the old lady rags. Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of... Yes, you and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion. I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat all they want. Capital has the ability... All right. What next?
Six kilometers southwest in the Valley of Dogs, Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes to his left. His partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, "You heard what happened to Tequila?" "Yes, he lost his mind," Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. "Don't worry, Emil." He pulls it out slow. "We always do."
You? You're an officer of the RCM. Preciso mundo. Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body. Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of internet. The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest, laissez-faire stasis to the benefit of foreign capital. There's nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way ours seemingly... Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. The post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west. They called it the international zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens. So permit me to conclude with this. Who you are to me is the police, the only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know, of course, Detective. You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind? Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some...
Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law induces a person to commit a criminal offense that the person would have otherwise been unlikely to commit. Usually...
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo.
A rhymesmith. This is quite credible. It goes with its cadence and weight.
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Only the coolest goods in Revachol. Anything for you. The shine on these sunglasses.
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter, soaks in the sign billboard has fallen on the waterlock, keeping it open, and thus out of order. Whatever it is, the boy or goat milk butter. The Samaran terrain makes it easier to raise goat. It's an acquired taste. Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt rubber, the cause was probably a motor vehicle. Side slip marks indicated that the vehicle was traveling up the crater at 35 km. The black marks on the roof indicate that the vehicle vaulted from the crater to the roof of the shack. The panel served as a takeoff ramp. The vehicle soared through the air, hitting the billboard and upsetting the posts. Then the sign broke the vehicle. The Samaran butter billboard still looks freshly painted, suggesting within the past 72 hours. Still speeding, the vehicle made a loop and vanished into the fog. There are two good candidates. The Capri, it's about the right size, and the tire marks look. The Caprice 40 is a very popular model, with bank clerks, topping pie delivery drivers, secondary school teachers. Very sturdy but light mode. The Linear G22 is not a particularly popular. You'd have to follow the tracks to be sure.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let any... You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. I don't go for that foreign piss. Proper booze is made in Mundi. Or not in, not out. I'll never betray the purity of my tribe. I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling in rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that he's the kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road science, man. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang. That beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. Guess so.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs. That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale. Or at my home, or on my person. That's cool. Especially after you already said you're into them. All the coolest, that's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He hasn't... No, I just said I work harder and he...
Realizing he can't get out of it.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most... Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror. Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. Crowd, you know.
He doesn't want to talk about them. He's...
Look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her.
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone...
It could be. She was strange.
I don't know. I'm not local. All right. Very cool. Let's get the...
The woman still has her eye.
Where am I? Who are you?
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the weary aspect of her cornered beak.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam. The men have small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out back in Mecca during the time of the revolution? The side until you came along, that is. This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. Someone was. They are someone's memories, boy. They are beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful.
All of what? She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought, as if the past will one day wipe the present away, like a tidal wave.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun, while you, people, were tearing each other apart over you.
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in...
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hang...
Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I... Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive...
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Oh, it's so much more than a
Yeah, it's definitely some kick. Some terrible kick in the dark. A sleep kick.
Then it's contraband, Loman. What? Do you want to take an old...
Bad hand. Hermenegildos' bad hand. Strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people...
Of course not.
Boyadero, Boya for short, is a cow herder from upstream Magritte. The great...
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. He promises to marry... Of course not. The boyadero returns from the western plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved... So the boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the mag grate. Then he rides off. Because the western plain... You have to understand. A true boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a boyadero. What do you mean? Yes? What about it? Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best. Lomonosov's land...
A terrible cold comes over her, rattling her.
The Transcatholia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas do Mirador. All the good ones. The deep tree. You're right, Lowman. I'm the one who should take my...
A correct appraisal.
Is that all you woke me up to say? Now what do you want with an old woman's boot, Sheriff? Please? I think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots, made of black leather. Buckle.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro.
Moreover, the boots were size 30. Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of...
It was. And then it was no more. And I was no longer hold. Perhaps it was another Sheriff who came and woke me up, looking at my...
As she says carnival, she gestures to the empty square.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals. What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel, the great... Yes, there is a protagonista and an adversario.
Those epithets are familiar somehow. I don't like the sound of any of that. Sounds like a horrible...
Then what were you getting at? Why would I want to do that? Lowman, what in the name of God are you talking about? Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grat, on the U41A. What do you think they take? No, Lowman, diamonds. Easy. Is the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also...
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Diamonds are good for you, Lowman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself... Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it... Did you just call me a lady?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I'm not that either, Sheriff. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me, because they can no longer recognize the person I once was. The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there. It's in the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motor...
You feel very cold suddenly, as if standing face to face in the background. A quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air.
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around? Oh, Sim. Yes, go.
Looking for something odd? Come to tell me. I don't know what you're talking about. He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another honest lorryman's job. Listen up, fuckwit. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Rivachol West. You don't run Martinet. I ain't saying nothing. What? Here on the street? You won't. Now fuck off. I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwit. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Rivachel West. I ain't saying nothing. I'm not in trouble right now, and
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. Well, I don't want to talk about that. Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. I didn't, man. I told you, I was hoping it's not her.
He still is. Hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his part, not trickery.
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From a friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. A youngish woman. Gruff, but blue and violet. Died. It was violet.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that. That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on. It's snitching, man. I know what it is. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked the way it worked. The trouble it was...
The pain it was causing her.
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand...
He's right. There are other options. The race push Tommy and it will break his heart. And his spirit. Don't. Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son.
You're not gonna put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
I wouldn't be so sure, Tommy.
I thought you were a different kind of...
The realization that you've used his friendliness and goodwill.
Here.
The keys to a motor lorry. Pretty complex.
Her lorry's still here. Down past the Statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know. Last Friday. No. I don't know. She left them to me. Because she trusted me. So
The other drivers would have to break in there to get the machines moving. And they would find what's hidden inside.
I bet you are.
And he's sorry he couldn't be what he wants to be. A good person. His last...
Nah. I need to think my own thoughts now.
This screen found A to Z. This is the one the man pointed to. The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out. The door is locked. There's no picking this lock. You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teen. One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attack. The actress is draped in a sheath dress. One of her shoulders bare. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone? This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography. Less known, she wasted away in a drug den called The Door to the River, not far from here, on Boogie Street. A mixture. The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed. The peculiar frequency tableau indicates that at least one... It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together. Doesn't look like it. Unclear. For contacting an entire fleet of lorries, for example. This must be the nerve center, not without the dial key, no. The ghostly actresses and the rusty... You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools, but one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been... Sandpaper adds extra grip. Matching one of the footprints found from the crime scene, which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. Looks like it, yes. You've identified the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys had anything to do with the drug trade? You should talk to them, see what they've got to say for themselves. The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty. It's an issue of Peripherique from last Wednesday. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematics. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its metallic drawer. The pull-out toolbox slides. You close the rusty old lorry door.
Looking for something odd?
Oh, look. It's the cop. Nope. Don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though.
Yup. Nothing wrong with that statement.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't...
A colourful display of cigarettes and alcohol there, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine...
Guess not, no.
Good thing you're an...
I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
Know this. You will never finish your alcohol quest if you don't buy beautiful alcohol.
Here you go, mister. Here you go, mister. The pale aged vodka is special, you know.
Don't worry your pretty little head about it. Let's
Substances give powerful bonuses to your main stats at the cost of damage to your health or morale. Use medication, like Nosafed and magnesium, to counteract the negative...
No, Frit only sells legal drugs, like the law says.
There it is. A bravely... You picked the best one. This soldier is fattened. Get a load of this rock and roll cop here. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body.
In the bottom right corner of this...
Well, what a solid can of mass-produced piss water. Wow, the gods of... There's a satisfying pop As the golden sun melts down your throat, its rays filling your nostrils with sunshine. Your stomach melts from it into a happy...
In the bottom right...
From the void we came.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock. That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big...
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course. No, there aren't. Some little shit and his dad are doing...
Little shit. That's cool.
Whatever you've seen is peanuts. Look at the...
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer is... fuck off. Mind your...
And here we go.
I know! Fatty walked on all fours. He's so fucking fat.
Despite everything, the little man...
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all fours. Anything else you need to know?
You're back. Good. What? Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? It doesn't really matter. And I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford...
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? Okay. I thank you for sharing that much with me, in any case. You've held up your end of... I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you...
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth.
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil... I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer. A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to... Cronell, an Oronese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons and years of combat experience. They also have... The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. It was the Union who strung him from that tree. My hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before Crenell If you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the...
The Union has over 2,000 men.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Detective? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can...
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded... As I said, a bloodbath. Too many things have already gone wrong. Nameless, badgeless. All we can do is keep the little that is not from following suit. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private... They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eendracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such. I wouldn't go as far as to use that term, Detective. Yes.
Feels like there's a good response here, but you're not coming up with it.
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now, if you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may... Ah, yes, your condition. The International Collaborative Police maintains a database for these sorts of things. I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us. Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. The remaining contractors. Their tribunal that the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story. Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposed either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, that's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor.
You meet her soon enough, you feel.
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. About one is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury.
Must be hard to force your face to move in a new fashion. If you continue like this, you'll have an aneurysm. Then you'll have to...
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghettos. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintained. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest. That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible. I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob. Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative. It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence. Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of... The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption. Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital. Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart.
The old, old world passing by, and the new, new world.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can...
In Martinez, looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter.
His platoon members? The other contractors, though I do not...
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's challenge accepted. I say we do it.
Do what you have to do, detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find... Is there anything else I can help you with?
Give me a moment. The waiters are at the end of this hallway, right next to the communal bathroom.
A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges. Secured to the doorframe with your heartbeat quickens. Palms go sweaty. The siren of amphetamine is singing you her song. A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges. Secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. An unpaid energy bill is attached, threatening to cut off the electricity. It's addressed to Mr. Uno Doroita. This is not something you should be attempting to do with your bare hands. You're just going to get hurt. A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
His slender figure is backlit by it feels like a Friday. He's seen, and his shirt is still unbuttoned.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again? Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting. Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it? Yeah, it does feel like the end of the week. Even the rain feels nice. Trust me, you do. That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette.
Besides,
He's going to leave you alone again. Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever.
To the city.
A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire...
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, alright?
And he's gone again.
You have acquired the hat. Keep it, officer. It looks...
His hands are clean and well manicured.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Oh, yes. My friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. That's really all I can tell you about it. I'm sorry to say I did, officer. Because I did it?
He's clearly not a man accustomed to being spoken to in that manner, let alone to being accused of murder.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like... No. I mean, it was so strange. I could barely believe what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this. I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very... Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive. I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10.
Sound familiar? That matches the prints you observed at the scene.
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite huge. I went back inside.
Yes, back inside. Keep yourself safe from the killing.
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see. But I could still hear all men, I presume. But again...
That doesn't quite comport with what you know. Don't forget...
It's possible, officer. But I cannot say with certainty. It was very dark, you must remember. Those funny... Oh... I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain... Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts. You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add. All I can say is that it was late. No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance. The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires... well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international Yes, as I said before, I'm a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is.
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially. It is the most important thing. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining, which is essential for maintaining the social state. Take your daily bread, for example. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%. But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below. The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is it's the International Organization for Moralists. Hence, but of course, because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by the Occident is part of the normal world. Or Martinez? No. Martinez is... Revachol is generally difficult. It's led, but they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking. Ah, my friend. But the lesson of the revolution is that communism does not work. It's moving towards the right direction. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that... Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is... Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people. Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes... As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur-la-Clé takes care of the business side of it. Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced service. About what? Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars... Whatever you wish, officer. Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from... Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, that it's never going to happen. They enter negotiations in 21, and it's been penned. EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified...
God, yes. Sweet standardization.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as well. It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. A supranational political alliance. You mean Revachol? No. It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure. No. Candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the... But we were talking about my friend here, not politics. How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Fine. Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. Sorry. Who? But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future. Especially, officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own. He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the... He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. I'm just enjoying the view. Listen. The Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, but the million real views stay. My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you've seen him around. I'm all ears, officer. A moment. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Of course.
A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. Snip. The cutter goes through them like you can just go in now. A phone book lies open on the table, covering a stack of utility bills. Score. It's right there, baby. You pocket the bottle as if it were the most natural. Don't wait. Celebrate. Blast that shit. A bundle of clothes heaped on the bed. A stained parka. Some towels and a duvet. Some socks even. Something underneath there. It's not too late. No one's going to blame you for backing out. You don't have to do this. Just get... You hear someone walking around a poor...
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a watch?
It's generally easy.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire...
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another. Hatred did the woman on the bus.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an...
Ozon is an...
on a first-name basis with her, It's where they grow whores like that one over there. Have you got a crush on her? Aching for...
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Trying to sneak up on me.
Logic error. She's...
Pig's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me. Don't get fucking clever with me, pig.
Kuno care? Alright, so you got Kuno's kilo. Here is how we do it. First, that's how we split it. It's the best way. Street way. Kuno knows what Kuno means. Wow, that's heavy. There you go. More than half in there. Kuno's fucking honourable like that. Now tell me, how the fuck are you still alive, pig? The fuck do you know about Kuno's life?
Yeah,
6 meters underground, below piping from before the war, the collapsed remains.
Yeah? How are you still standing, pig? You sneaked past him. What?
His posture changes. The swaying rooster motion stops for a second.
Fuck right. Kuno's dad was sleeping like a bum. Kuno told you. Kuno's dad doesn't give a sh**. You got lucky, pig. Kuno knew this. Kuno's fucking violent fiend dad's been drinking hard lately. Kuno knew you have a way in. Narrow window. Kuno window. Fuck you trying to do? Get the Kuno to stop.
Keep your ass together, Kuno.
Kuno's not fucking trying to be tough. This shit is real. Kuno's gonna go out like that too. Gonna be just like...
Stop saying all this sad shit.
There's a touch of grief.
Fuck you talking sad? Kuno's got hard shit, death shit, nothing shit. Get your fucking nun ass out of here before Kuno fucks it. Kuno ain't turning into shit.
Kuno won! Oh, you won, Kuno!
Fuck right there were. Fucking 3 years or some shit. Yeah, that's right. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit about that electricity and light shit. Just wants to pop. Fuck that shit. Kuno's gonna move underground. Let I am shit.
Yeah, in a tomb, Kuno.
Yeah, pig. This shit is done. Kuno...
It's you again. What is it? A witness? You ain't got shit.
That's just cop tactics, Titus.
Well, let's hear it then.
He's not alarmed by the sudden appearance. This goes without saying. But nonetheless, don't give out his name.
Yeah, right. Like we wouldn't know if an MI plan...
MI is short for moral intern.
I've seen this shit a million times, Titus. Fly fishing. They are desperate. Tell us, Copper, what wacky claims did he make?
Arab guy?
Well, yeah. What is confusing you? Eugene, Theo, and Elaine?
It's you assholes that feel the need to go around like a...
Yeah. It's like they put cowbells on you before they send you to the streets. What those flaccid MI cocks with their culture language?
What is this fella's problem? Sorry we didn't make it more action-packed.
Some witness. I pull...
You don't have to go to school for shit.
You're doing a hell of a job, man. Hell of a job.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad?
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed.
Yeah, a well-oiled murder machine.
The mood is on the rise. They're feeling confident, ready to punch out the whole Merc platoon.
So are the local gangs. The fucking barmy.
Yeah. Where are they now, huh?
We got weapons of our own. We got Ester 50s. Zila, I guess we're gonna see. Aren't we? Yeah. Like you've been up against ceramic armor. You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal. Big fucking surprise. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loot. The fuck is that supposed?
We're not bees. We're men.
Easy, E. He's trying to phase you. What are you trying to do? What do you mean, okay? No, they won't. Get out of here with your negative.
No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, you believe the place was called Precinct 40.
Huh? You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Speak for yourself, buddy. We've been
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week.
So what? What do you want from me?
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. If you don't, if you question her, harass her. Glacia, I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Yeah. Blonde. Tall. Sure. Why not? You've probably seen her around.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, but no one notices. Your spine is too damn straight.
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship.
Something is off here. His anger.
It was like that karaoke incident all over.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your...
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter? All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know.
Here you go, boss.
I know her. Well enough, Copper. We party.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck.
You mean Revachol? Nah. Our Miss Aranier did.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just... Shut up, Angie. She doesn't...
Titus gives them both. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know. And what was up with the partying she and Titus did? It sounded fun.
What do you think I meant? Yeah, pretty much. No, we just fucked. That's all.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. That's all you're gonna get for now.
You don't know her. Good boy. Remember what I said. Freight train of pain. Again? Yeah, whatever.
Hear that? Magnesium. That's what the magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. Yeah, the other things. Long live, yes, and it's critical. Look at you. You need to get so magged up. You've probably had 2. Yes, if you want, just remember. And it's certainly nor smoking.
Can I help you?
The door is closed. There is no answer. It's a young woman like this is probably out partying the night away. There is a young woman. The payphone hangs. Before the cargo, the container door appears unmoved by your attempt. The door does not respond to your advances. Is it possible that it seems so? Why does this situation feel so familiar? Do you have a history of propositioning? Before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened.
Oh, hey, mister. I'm not gonna bother you with a... Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric? Have I been... No one needs you. Go away.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes, but the documents inside the envelope still It's not going to be that easy. Everard wants you to... The window stands broken in... A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. The faucet is quite terribly mangled. You handle the chain cutters deftly, applying just enough pressure. Told you that you needed those chain cutters. Everything is... The mirror begins to clear slowly without you having to wipe it. The bed is still cold from... The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the...
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you're not cooperating. It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort.
And there's a lot of it. Ever present in your organs. That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really... Every cell in your body is moaning in agony, asking, what did we ever do to you?
Now, you're finally thinking about something other than yourself. Let's see how...
There's no dignity here. Only reflections of your body mass. You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people. Really looking. But why would you want to start doing that? Sure you do.
At least they're interesting. Each one has a process just like you.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lies.
Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and watch.
The door is...
Who is it?
Somewhere, not far from here, the lieutenant is preparing her file. Clausia Amandu, he writes. You read...
Yes?
The door.
Who is it?
This is the police.
Come on up. The door is open. I'm...
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills. It's been used quite a lot. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of pill bottle.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol. Nacra. This is used to treat opioid overdoses.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do a bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it? In sunny, happy letters, and your chest swells with pride. Look, it's made right here in Revachol by San Baptiste. It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about
Preptide.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. Silently, the bottle slides into your pocket. Feels so sleek and beautiful. You got it. Here comes the afterburner. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to
Looks like it, yes.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The young woman looks at the Maybell. The lieutenant gives you an
welcome to the roof.
Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic...
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to want... It's much nicer now.
Where the dead body used to hang.
Thank you for that, officers.
There is something in her light brown eyes. A sadness. When she thinks about the death of that...
Oh, yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the...
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 50.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious... Oh yeah. Life gets hard.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race, instills you with the fuck it all swagger that prompts one to plow into grannies on your morning stroll.
Oh, I've got a couple of good years left on my warranty.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there.
Huh. I see.
What could she be thinking of? It's hard to say. Her shoulders are...
Plazier Amondu, Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. A bad memory, officer. Of lilacs and lightning. Parks, glass. Duraluminium.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you're no longer there. I'm 28. Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese.
If that's true, then Revacholian lit would fit you like a glove.
Nothing. I do nothing with it. It's not very cool, but what can you do? I'm afraid you can't.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast.
Thank you for your candor.
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausia Mondu. Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
The record. So official. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying?
About 4 months.
The bills downstairs concur.
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol? Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her.
With money, sir. It's not exactly the...
The Anti-Star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs.
Oh, yes. One of my favorites. Like, not being able to stay up for 36 hours. Not being happy comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Huh? Motherfucker took my Preptide? Looks like you owe me one.
This does not amount to actual corruption. I can...
Robbed by common
It's hard to tell if she means... She's not angry, but it's true. She's gonna have to find some more Preptide now.
It is.
The lieutenant makes a note. He finds the answer unsatisfying.
Okay. Yeah? Alright.
She looks at the dried petals in your palm.
Pretty. Looks like a dried Maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because it's a bit early in the morning for rape, isn't it?
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally She looks around. The sun has...
It is. It's murderously early. I'm amazed I'm awake. Why am I even awake? Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit.
By him, she must...
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have...
By they, she...
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was pretty much.
Warming them. She must be very cold and exhausted of this life.
I'm 89% sure. You know how it is.
Do you?
Maybe you don't. In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here. Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. I was not sexually assaulted. We partied. A lot of partying.
From Titus? About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it.
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Oh, it is.
What did you do?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking a little. The drugs were good enough.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs. At the bar. He was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you...
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh, yes. I've had a great view.
A bitter cringe. He takes a small step closer.
You called us. DRC.
Yes.
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez...
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio.
So, she's Scott's mystery foam cutter.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Thanks. I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was...
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here.
And his role in this strike was...
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for Union. Over drinks. It's been a little...
Like you partied with the...
No, not as...
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical...
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's...
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Not my favorite topic, but okay. How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now? Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definite. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? Being candid is the best way to lie. The appearance of candor with some facts thrown in. She may be trying to control the pace of the investigation. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our inquiry...
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
I don't know. It is not the first close. I don't know. The further we get, the more these buildings...
Below, the hostel cafeteria creaks and groans. A dull thump. Somewhere in...
The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the Keza Inn are around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. You kick it, gung-ho style.
All right, let's trash the place.
Let's not.
RCM patrol officer's uniform.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right.
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM. Below...
Yes, I am. I know.
Here's the
It's hard to tell whether he's sarcastic or...
I'm definitely not the cavalry. I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk? No, you haven't wronged me.
Something changes in her.
Okay, fine. Let's talk.
What does one talk about?
What precinct?
Am I from?
Fucking deranged lunatic.
You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this
I don't...
Don't say anything, Judith. Me? No. I'm just a man with sunglasses. I like...
Okay.
I'm just looking out for...
You?
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are?
Yes. A policewoman who just...
Something about the man with sunglasses and you. The energy between...
You look like shit. And I don't mean that as a metaphor. Wow. You seem stable. And in control. Now what do you want?
There's something about this guy that matches with a face in your head. A similar, but different face. You know what it is. It's like the two of you...
Oh, I definitely...
Another life.
Yes. From another life. A different life. To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality? Okay. That's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we really get somewhere good. Okay. Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? Would you now, or would I be cramping your style? Never mind. Partner. Okay. How about you stop wasting my time and get on with whatever you were doing then? Oh no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes.
This isn't helping.
You're not going to believe this, but yes sir, solving crimes, locking up just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you. Oh, it's you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you. Not even a little.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just...
He's trying to protect you from further rough hand. Okay, yes, you get the joke. Leave it at...
Neither can I, partner.
It's a mere second, but it feels like...
I'm not getting involved.
It's not my style, he thinks, glancing at the man in sunglasses. And...
About what? You don't look like a cop. You know what you look like? Not the prophet shit again. No. 'Cause it's not my job. Why don't you go and fucking do yours and solve this damn hanging? Actually, I don't want to hear...
Come on, Jean.
Okay, say things. I want to...
Hear that? He suddenly, out of nowhere, case-related...
So, do you know who hanged him? Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. Why?
It's like you felt it would be intellectually stimulating and would lead somewhere.
Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? What is it? Watch out for yourself.
Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical... There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. Yes, just cross it.
Again? I can't believe this. I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. Okay?
Jean.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent. Something of that kind. Not a...
Can I help you?
Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the...
Hi, gendarme. Another rendezvous. I see you found yourself a little something from my wardrobe. Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer? Convenient. But what are you doing here? Talking to me? Oh yes, let's see. He knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. I think nothing. That I didn't see anything. Why shouldn't he? What friend? No, I don't think it came up. Muscular, handsome, strong. Like one. Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece. Yes, you know those tiny speaker microphones that just reporting back whatever I was telling him. Oh, let me think. He had an accent. He sounded vaguely Oranese. No, not vague. Sure. Anything else? You did. And how did you like him? Ah, shoot. A visitor from the first world to his opportunities in Occident. Or is it just money? I don't know. Friends, I told you. Sunday friends. Bet he won't be there when times get tough, I guess. It is. On Sundays. He has keys. And he likes the view. To the sea, I mean. Hmm? What about me, gendarme? You can keep it. I don't mind. I can appreciate beauty when I see it. Blend in where? At Carnival?
Could he be a member of the Yes, this man is definitely one of the homo. This sexual thing, see, just pointing it out. We're not talking about some kind of cult with members here.
Hmm? Bye-bye, Jean.
It's you again. What is it? Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly...
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand?
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy...
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn...
His hands become...
And you went and pushed her.
Hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardy. Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this...
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. Frankly, it's someone has to rush in to break the tension.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. Show it to him, T.
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was...
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters. A mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? We have machines. We're in logistics.
Understood? You've listened in on their communication.
Since way before their chief started.
Things got nice and quiet.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving...
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not...
Your room had one. Or maybe it's too broken.
You don't care about evidence.
Pigs, T. They don't care about...
I won't be on your bulletin.
There's a lot of questions. If
Don't forget your tape, lawman. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe... Yeah? What you do...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes. The armor was produced by... It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie. So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Yes! That is the most recent name the ICP has been able to connect to the CVP. And the one before it was... No, they were called sediments. And somatosensor, it seems. All that...
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private...
This is a fun challenge for her. An opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for...
Glad to help. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more for you then. 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of...
Oh, look. It's the cop who turned me into a bad person.